Welcome to Chem323 Organic Chemistry Lab. This slide presentation outlines the material for this semester and gives you some logistics information. It's officially the syllabus for Chem323. There are two sections of Chem323, so approximately 45 students altogether. This is a picture of me. And this is a picture of the ConocoPhillips Integrated Science Building, which we would be having lab in if we were meeting in person this year. This course is designed to be a practical implementation of the theory and material that you learned in Chem 321 and in Chem 322, Organic Chemistry Lecture. Sort of what we're going to be doing is we're going to be covering lab safety, lab methodology, purification techniques, some spectroscopy, some separation techniques, and we're going to be synthesizing a number of different organic chemical compounds. The prerequisites for this course is typically you should have taken Chem 322. However, you can take this course concurrently with 322 because the material you need from 322 you'll cover early in the semester and you won't need it till late in the semester. So read this special note if you are currently taking Chemistry 322 at the University of Alaska Anchorage. This lists the learning outcomes for this course. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to learn a little bit about lab safety. And because this class is online and we're not actually in the lab, there's some reading we have to do, and we're going to take a lab safety quiz the second week of class. After that, we're going to watch some videos where I set up some organic chemical reactions, and you're going to follow the progress. We're going to purify some organic chemical reactions, again by watching videos, and we're going to analyze the product for composition and purity by doing melting point, infrared spectroscopy, NMR spectroscopy. Please note that because this course is being delivered online, it will differ in many ways from a normal lab course and lab experience. I have actually, during the videos, I have cut out long sections. For example, when we have a 2-hour reflux, when we're boiling something for 2 hours, I don't make you watch the 2-hour reflux. I also reserve the right to make some adjustments during the semester if something comes up. We have very few required materials for this course since we're meeting online and not in the lab. You'll need to have an organic chemistry lab manual. This manual was written by Patrick Tomko, who is a chemistry professor here at the University of Alaska Anchorage, and John Lehman. It's available on the bookstore or it's available directly from Pearson Publishing. However, I have actually made PDF copies of the pages out of that lab manual and posted them on Blackboard. So in theory, you do not have to buy the Organic Chemistry Lab Manual unless you want a hard copy of it. You will need to obviously log into Blackboard, and you will need some technology for viewing the videos and, if needed, attending the Zoom office hours. So you need a computer, a tablet, or smartphone with speakers. Here is the all-important grading information. We are going to have one safety quiz, which we will take on Blackboard. It is 100% multiple choice and very easy if you've read the lab manual and if you've watched the lab safety videos. We're going to have 10 lab reports this semester because we're doing 10 experiments. They're worth 50 points each. So if I break that all up, there's going to be 31 points for the safety quiz and 500 points for the lab reports. Now these lab reports are fairly straightforward, but they are very different from what you would do if you were actually meeting in lab. After you've watched the videos and so forth, you're actually going to answer approximately 10 to 15 questions at the end. And you'll see these questions for each of the different experiments in what is called a pre-lab lecture video. You're going to submit that report as a single PDF file online, and then I'll grade it. So in that report, all you have to do is include your name and the experiment name, and then answer those 10 to 15 questions. Okay? Answer them thoroughly to get full credit, and also be neat and organized. It makes my grading so much easier. So that is an important part of a lab report, is organization. The grading. Grades will be updated on Blackboard as assignments are completed and once I've graded them. Notice here is the grading scale going from A to an F. These scores might be curved at the end of the semester based on my discretion. So if you get a low score on any one lab report, don't panic, because I'll take a look at all the scores at the end of the semester and do some curving. There are some expectations for this course. Chemistry is a subject that requires focus, so you need to watch the videos, okay? And you need to take notes, because you'll need to take some numbers off those videos to finish the reports. Complete all the reading assignments and watch all the videos. Hand in all the reports. Late submissions may result in a point deduction, so I might even deduct up to 100% of the points for that lab report if you don't complete it on time. Work should be done individually by each student. However, I encourage you to discuss things and collaborate with your classmates. Your work, however, should reflect your individual understanding of the material. Don't just copy from someone else. If I do find copied work, or it's way too similar, you will receive a score of 0 on that lab report. Work hard on this lab reports. The University of Alaska wants everyone to succeed in their academic careers. If you have a disability or there are special circumstances, please contact the University of Alaska Disability Support Services and you can get some special support. For example, you can get some of the materials that I supply in alternative formats. You could get extra time for testing, you could, etc. Okay? And they will contact me so that I'm aware that you need some special accommodations for this course. The University of Alaska is also very serious about discrimination. So if you find something during the semester that seems discriminatory based on race, religion, color, national origin, etc., please contact the Compliance and Non-Discrimination Office to report that. It's important that we do not discriminate against anybody. Earlier, when I mentioned that your report should reflect your own work, that is part of academic integrity at the University of Alaska, Anchorage. I want you to read through this material and follow those rules as set forth by the University of Alaska Anchorage Student Code of Conduct. In other words, do not cheat. If you want to look at the actual wording of the Student Code of Conduct, please follow this link. This slide lists some logistics for the course. All labs will be online. That includes the videos that you'll be watching of the experiments themselves, but also submitting your reports and any other information that I post for each experiment. These labs will be asynchronous, meaning you can watch these videos remotely at your own pace. However, they need to be submitted based on the course schedule. That would be your reports. I do have office hours from 10 a.m. to 12 noon every week, and here is a link. There's also a link on Blackboard that you can follow. Again, my name is Andrew Stranjord. I have an office in the ConocoPhillips Science Building, room 302A, which I suspect nobody will ever go to. You can call me at my office phone number. It leaves me, if you leave a message, it leaves a message on my email account, which you can also use to email me if you have questions or need more information. This is an outline of the activities that we're going to do in this course over the semester. The first thing we're going to do is an introduction where you read the syllabus and the 10 steps in an organic chemical reaction. In week 2, we're going to review safety, look at the emergency procedures and hazard identification, followed by a quiz on safety. And then the rest of the semester is dedicated to actually doing experiments. And we have 10 of them that we're going to do. So here is the Chem322 schedule for week 1. You're going to review the introduction and look at the syllabus material online. Week 2, we're going to do safety, followed by a safety quiz, which will be due Saturday evening at 11:59. On week 3, we're going to start benzoic acid, so you watch the lab material, read the lab manual, read the safety information, and then a report on that is due a week later. So you can spend this whole week 3 getting your lab report prepared, and then any final tweaks you can do that before handing it in. So we do the experiments, the next week the lab report is due. So in week 4, we're going to start lab 2, which is the panacetin lab. It's going to be due the following week on Saturday evening. Then we're going to do the banana lab, the clove lab. This lab is blank because the following week is going to be spring break. So right before spring break, you're going to hand in lab report 5. And then week 9 is spring break. When we get back from spring break, we'll start the lab 6 experiment, thin layer chromatography. Then we'll do lab 7. We'll do lab 8 on week 12. Week 13, we're going to do experiment on saccharin, experiment 9. Week 14, we're going to do a vanillin experiment. And then week 15, we're just going to finalize that last report and hand it in on Saturday night before finals. Notice I haven't listed any finals here. That's because we're not going to have any final. It's just going to be lab report and that one safety exam for the semester. In this final slide, I've listed some strategies for success in this course. In other words, studying efficiently. The first thing you should do is read the experiment in the lab manual. The next thing, watch the pre-lab lecture videos. I've outlined the information from the lab manual and given some additional information, so take notes during that. And then watch the experimental videos. Some of these are long. Okay. After you've done that, you need to start preparing your report. So you need to answer the questions as they're outlined in the pre-lab video. And I want to make sure that your report is organized and neat. It should again be on a single PDF file that you're going to submit. And you're going to submit that within the folder for that experiment within Blackboard. It's at the very bottom. Okay. I strongly suggest that you don't get behind. Don't wait till the last minute to prepare your reports. Get them done early, and then you'll have time to go on to the next experiment. I will open up experiments earlier so those of you that want to work ahead can. If you're having trouble or don't understand something, first reread the experiment in the lab manual. Then review the pre-lab videos. Then review the experimental videos. If that still isn't helping you, search the internet. There are some questions in the report that you might have to do some internet searching for. And if that is still not done, log on to my office hours on Zoom, or finally email me, and I'll try to help answer your questions. Welcome to Chem 323.